bit of some Hannibals, right? So.
Hi guys.
Are you familiar with that term, Hannibal? Have you heard that?
I am now. Yeah. No, I heard about it last year, but being a kid from the former millennium, I'm not on Twitter and Facebook, so I met them in real life a couple of weeks ago. I love them all.
This girl down here, I've been seeing her all day. She's just been grinding like this all day. She's adorable. Adorable. So how's the show been for you so far?
It's been great. It's been fantastic. I mean, I think it's a clever show, and we're pushing the limit every time, and everybody's really surprised that we can get away with that. Yeah, I enjoy it. I love this character. He's probably the happiest man I've ever played. So.
Actually, yeah, that's probably about true. That makes sense. Have you ever read the script and gone, you want me to do what now?
I never read the scripts. No, not anything specifically that I'm doing, but I mean, I remember there was a scene where a man came out of a horse and he had a bird inside his heart, and they were all alive, and I was like, Brian, you gotta stop smoking, man. But it's, we got away with that as well, and the clever thing about what Brian does is that everything is lifted up into almost like a painting in the universe of the character of Hannibal, so it's not brutality or bloody in your face, it's more like a painting, and I think that's one of the reasons why we can get away with it as well.
Do you ever challenge the direction at all? Do you ever say something like, I don't think Hannibal would actually do that, I think maybe this would be a better direction?
All the time. No, I'm one of these actors who's very annoying and keep asking questions and coming up with new ideas. But having said that, I think that Brian has the tone down so very fantastically that we are not changing a lot. I think he has captured it from the very beginning.
So, in your Hannibal, I love Hannibal as a character. I love the entire canon of it ever since I was really little, which is weird. I don't know if any of you guys watched that as a kid, but I did. Fascinated ever since. What would you say the allure of Hannibal is? Because really, what he does, obviously, there's a certain amount of grotesqueness, but there's such an elegance about it as well. What do you think attracts people to him so much?
Well, it's an interesting question. The books did it, and Anthony Hopkins certainly did it. We loved him. I think it's just, we've always been fascinated with the dark side. I mean, 2 seconds after we invented God, excuse me, I think we invented him, we invented Satan. So we've always been fascinated with the dark side. And I always call Hannibal the fallen angel because I have a hard time putting him in a box of being a psychopath or a sociopath. I think he's very much different than that. He's a person like you and me, full of empathy, full of emotions, but slightly twisted. And that means that he finds something beautiful where the rest of us are finding something horrific, right? I think that is attracting us. We are curious and we are so happy that it's not us.
I do have to confess, when I first heard that there was going to be a series for Hannibal, I refused to watch it. Because I was such a dedicated fan of the films, and I thought incorrectly that there was absolutely no way, no possible way it could be any good. And I think, if I may say, within about 5 minutes of seeing you, maybe 5 seconds even, of seeing you in that role, I was kind of, Anthony who? I don't know, but you were just fantastic.
Well, thank you. No, I think that for good reasons, a lot of people were reluctant to either see it or participate. I had to think about it for a while as well, and for a good reason. I mean, Anthony did it to perfection. And when I realized we were not going down the same path, and Brian was doing this quite a few years before Hannibal was in prison, it made sense. We were doing something very different. But obviously, it's difficult. I mean, we can't erase what he did, and we should not. It's always there. So for that reason, people will go, oh, who's this guy now? What's happening? What's the funny accent? What is all this, right? And so, yes, for a good reason, people were hesitating to either tune in or accept it, but I think it has its own universe, and that's thanks to Brian, obviously.
Have you ever at any point when you were in character as Hannibal felt that you have gone too deep into it or too far into it with such an intense character?
No, I don't think you can do that as an actor. I mean, and as I said before, Hannibal is literally one of the most happy people I've ever acted. And he's seizing the moment. He's doing what the rest of us should do. But he's seizing the moment. Every moment is precious, right? He has no time for banalities. He has no time for bad wine, or bad food, or bad company. So he's doing what we are dreaming of doing, and then he has a little flaw, somewhat, of course. So having said that, you don't carry a character back home that is miserable, that is carrying a big load from his childhood. That's not what you're doing with this character. He's a man who is embracing it every second.
Has your fan base changed a whole lot since your work on Hannibal? I asked the same question to Cary Elwes from The Princess Bride after he did his work on Kiss the Girls, and it was like there was this sort of shift in how people responded to him as fans. Is there anything that you noticed with that?
People are wearing funny things on their head. Those are the Hannibals, the flower crowns, and doing TV has an enormous impact. It's very different than doing a film, right? It's because you come into people's living rooms, right? People do not get out of the seats, go to the movie theater. They sit down there and you turn up on their screen. So it's a different way. It has a big impact on people's lives. And I remember that when I did a TV show back in Denmark. I had done quite a few films at that point. But from one day to the other, life changed. You were famous in a different way. I've never since bought a packet of cigarettes, a normal packet of cigarettes. It's either, here you are, sir, or it's like, get the fucking cigarettes. So life changes when you're on television. That's a fact.
Has there ever been a very weird fan moment that you can recall, like something that's really stuck out as being that was very strange?
No.
Oh, you're going to answer that? Just no.
No, I'm not even sure if he's in the room now. Could be. And he was a big dude.
Oh my. I will keep an eye out for him then. All right, I think we have a few questions from the audience. Are you guys all lined up out there? Yeah, all right.
How organized. You're making a line.
Mass, welcome to sunny Alberta, and my name's Jonathan. You're in this strange little movie called Valhalla Rising, and yeah, you're just wonderful in that. About half a page of dialogue in the whole movie, and I just want two quick questions. It seemed like a strange shoot, that movie, if you had any stories from that, and also what the heck was it all about? What did it mean?
Well, we've already said more words than is in the film, you're right. What did it mean? Originally it was a classical Viking film. It changed while we were shooting. Because of two things. Because of Nicholas Winding Refn, who all of a sudden got a different idea, and I agreed with him. And because of the budget. But what we did an art film. We did a film more like a painting or a piece of music. And I think it's a beautiful, beautiful film. It's back to the roots of filming. It's what they did in the 60s and 70s in Russia. Funny stories about that. It was just, we were shooting in Scotland, that's funny already. It was so super cold, we're not wearing a lot of clothes. And when it was not cold, we were eaten up by these little insects called midges or whatever. They have jaws, and everybody was wearing masks except obviously for me. So it was a very tough shoot, and I had to look in my passport and confirm that I'm way too old for this shit. But I enjoyed it afterwards tremendously.
Excellent. On this side.
I'm like a huge Hannibal. I love you. I was wondering, when you're doing the whole like eating scene thing, what do they make you eat?
The real thing. I mean, except obviously for human flesh, unless we can get a little Swedish guy to put in. We do the real dishes with the real meat, and then there's an option of getting a vegetarian version that's made of pasta. Nobody ever eats that. But the food is fantastic, it's spectacular. I remember vividly me and Lawrence Fishburne, we deliberately fucked up the scene a couple of times to get the foie gras once again. So that's how good it is, you know. But we eat the real thing, what is actually on the menu, that's what we do.
All right, on this side.
Hi, my name is Jasmine, and I was just wondering, if you were never casted for Hannibal, what TV show would you want to be on?
That's interesting. I think there's a lot of fantastic TV shows out there right now. One of my favorites, I don't know if it's still running, the English and the American version of The Office. I think it's fantastic. I'm a dedicated fan of Walking Dead as well. I would gladly just for a couple of seconds be a zombie in that one. But there's so many good ones out there. The Wire was a good one, right? Yeah, you can name it. I think that American television has exceeded to do what we are not doing anywhere else in the world right now. They're actually more brave doing television than they are doing films. And I think it's radical and interesting what's happening here.
Is there anybody that you would stand in line for several hours to meet?
Yeah, a lot of people. I mean, I grew up with the 70s and 80s of all Scorsese's works, De Niro, Christopher Walken, you name it. So if they were around, I would probably hang around for a couple of hours, that's for sure. But anyone who's good at sports as well. I'm a big sports freak. So,
Who are your teams?
every team in the world. I mean, I just love every sport in the world. And, I'm a big fan of Usain Bolt, who holds the world record. I think he's an amazing athlete. And Michael Jordan. Anyone.
I don't know anything about sport. I do yoga, so it's like I'm on my own. It's not very competitive.
Do you have some yoga stars?
Well, actually, yes, there are yoga celebrities.
There are?
There are.
Are they just lying on the floor?
Yeah. Yeah, no, they do their yoga videos and things like that, or they're known for being particularly
flexible.
There's a whole debate as to whether or not it defeats the purpose of yoga if you're a yoga celebrity. It's all very interesting, but anyway, next question.
Hi there. I'm here with Grandma Keelan's school paper, The Griff, and we basically asked the student body, what would you ask Hannibal? And the one that popped up the most was, what is your favorite dream sequence in the show?
Well, first of all, I'm not having the dreams. It's a little fucked up Will Graham. It's called. Well, one of my favorite ones when we had a ménage de trois, me, him, and Alana. I thought that was pretty kinky and interesting.
Thank you.
You got it.
Good question. Next.
Hi, my name is Mia, and I was wondering, if you were to be cooked into a meal, what meal would be cooked into?
Something Asian, I guess. Some Thai cooking. I'm not sure they can use my liver, but something spicy and from the Thai cuisine, that would be interesting. But don't give anybody any good ideas now.
If he's not here tomorrow, you'll know why. We'll be knocking on your door. Next question.
Hi, my girlfriend couldn't make it here today, so I'd like to say hi for her. I'm a really big fan that Hannibal was shot in Canada. And while looking up behind the scenes stuff, I saw that Janice Poon was doing all the recipes on her website, and one of the dishes that was served in the dinner party in season 2 was jelly timbits stuffed with foie gras. So I wanted to know, what are your favorite Canadian dishes, like beaver tails, maple taffy, butter tarts, Canadian bacon?
Wait. We eat beaver tails? Really? I've been a vegetarian since I was 14, so I'm behind the times. That's crazy.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure I've been introduced to the Canadian kitchen in that way. If the foie gras thing was a Canadian thing, I like that one. I like the Canadian beer. That's Canadian, right? I like that one. But I'm not sure I've been introduced to the. I'm so sorry. I'll have to do that. Somebody slap my face when I go back to Toronto and serve me a proper Canadian meal, and then I can answer.
Have you tried poutine? Has anybody given you poutine before?
A what?
Poutine.
Apparently not.
No. Okay. It's French fries with gravy and cheese curds.
That's wrong. I think that sounds wrong. I like Canadian bacon though. That's kind of cool. Did that answer it? Say hi to the friend.
All right, next question.
Hi, I just want to ask, what was it like filming the crucifix and the swimming pool scene in Hannibal? And then will we be seeing you dancing in any of the future projects?
Dancing?
Yeah.
Was I dancing? I might have been doing it behind the scenes though, together with Dr. Chosen. He's a big musical star. Well, those 2 days when I was in the swimming pool and the next day I was hanging on the cross was long, very long days. We swam back and forth, and none of us are real swimmers, but it turned out that the guys that was supposed to double us, one had asthma and then the other one, I can't remember, we were almost drowned, I guess. So we were doing it pretty much ourselves. So we were pretty exhausted, and then they put me on the cross and I hung there for 8 hours. And it was a very elaborate system, meaning that it took 20 minutes to get out of it and 30 minutes to get into it again. So I was just, forget that break, I'll just hang around here. But it was, I mean, I enjoyed the scenes. I think it was great. Tucker, who played the maniac there, was a fantastic actor. So I enjoyed it, but I was fairly tired the next day. Let's put it that way.
Next question.
Hi, welcome to Edmonton. We'd love to have you. I just had a kind of a two-part question. Would you consider yourself a method actor, and if so, how has the character Hannibal affected your psyche?
I'm not really sure what a method actor is. I know that it's very popular to say that you are a method actor, but so far as I know, it's something to do with being able to drink a cup of coffee 50 times in a row the same way, and apparently get an emotion doing that, which is fair enough. I mean, everybody has their technique. Method acting has nothing to do with like dig into the character and become the character. It's a completely different technique. I play the character. I am never the character. I'm very fond of coming back home and my kids are calling me my real name and not the character name. I think people who do that has to see a doctor. But I take my job extremely serious. But it's also for me about getting into the character fast and getting out again really fast. Just like a lot of good things in life.
Moving swiftly along.
Oh, it's a language barrier.
Mads?
Yeah.
You are so creepy, but it's awesome, okay? Two parts to the question right now. First is, what was it like to tussle with Lawrence Fishburne? And like, did that experience break your relationship apart, or like just brought you closer together? And also, I'm coming to the photo ops afterwards. I was wondering if you can actually like pretend to choke me to death. keep the straight face at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And do I have to pretend? We'll figure out something. Yeah, we'll figure out something. No, I mean, the day when we had the fight, that was another long day. I think we were fighting for 12 hours or something. And we basically did everything ourselves except one little slip stunt. Yeah, I mean, he's the master of swords from Matrix. It's an honor to be fighting him. He's so skillful. But back in my head, a little bell was saying, oh, he's older than me. I'll take him out, right? But he was so fast and he was so strong, and I made the huge mistake of he was throwing me through the room once, and I was like, oh, he's getting tired. I'll give him a little hand. So I jumped a little. And that was a big mistake. I went right through the cabinet. It was like, bam, right in there. He's super strong, but I got him at the end, didn't I? It did not break our relationship, on the contrary. We had a great time doing it.
thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Next.
Hi. Speaking of language barriers, can you talk a bit about the challenges of working with a script that's not in your first language?
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about English, I mean, I've done quite a few things now. That's not the barrier. The barrier is always when you do it in a foreign language that you have to find an identity, your own identity first, and then secondly, you will try to put that into a character. So you're kind of playing two different roles every time you're doing it in a foreign language. It's getting better and better for me now that I've done quite a few things in English. But when I've done things in French and German and Swedish, there's always that strange element of me, Mads, talking a foreign language. That's a character in itself. So you have to get past that and wear it as a hat and then start creating the character. It's a double job. I mean, it's the same job, but you just have to do it twice as hard.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And on to the next side.
Oh, good.
Yeah, she is.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour, madame.
I'm going to attempt to say this in English for the rest of people in the room. At least in your English work, you've played a lot of villains, which has been very weird looking into your Danish work. But I want to ask, what is your opinion, what do you think about the ways in which our understanding of evil is interconnected and wrapped up in taboo? Our understanding of taboo, our understanding of mental illness, our understanding of the other.
Very interesting and a deep question that calls for maybe a deeper answer than I can provide. As I said before, I think that we have always been fascinated with the two sides of the coin. We tend to believe that the human race is all good. Deep down inside, we are good. But maybe, what if it wasn't like that? What if we were deep down inside, we're bad? And we've been struggling so very hard to become good. That means that we'll always be a base of something bad that we are fighting. And for that reason, it fascinates us. It can also be the other way around. Either way, we contain both sides. So the fascination in drama and in music or in art of the dark side is for me quite understandable. I think that people who are lying in their bed and closing their eyes, evil thoughts can pop up once in a while. And the whole trick is to how to control them and become that good person you want to be. But if you don't face the evil sides, you don't know what to do with your good side. Strange answer, but I'll give my best shot.
That was a brilliant question, thank you. Next.
Hi, I was wondering what it was like working on the set of Casino Royale with Daniel Craig.
It was amazing. That was my first, no, not my first, but it was probably the biggest thing I have done, the biggest film, or biggest budget film, whatever they call it. It was weird. We went into the casino and we were basically shooting all this stuff at the table. But there was one little scene at a toilet at one point where he comes out and throws up. And I just went in to look at that set, and it turned out that all 8 toilets could flush, just for the fun. I was like, why are you spending all that money on flushing toilets? It's a set, right? And then they were used to it. So for us in Denmark, we could not comprehend that. Like the money is so small in Danish film that we really have to spend them wise. And it feels as if when you do a big budget film like that, everybody just makes sure that nobody can put a finger on their job, so they make all the toilets flush and they bring the Pacific Ocean into your room. You know what I mean? So it was a big experience for me, but I think it was the aftermath of the whole Bond thing where I really understood how big this Bond thing was, because we had the opening in London and Leicester Square was 50,000 people. They didn't have a ticket, they were just standing there watching us, right? So that was, I realized, oh, people like Bonds, that's good.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so hi, sorry for my weird accent, but...
John the Clock.
Yeah, I have a question, like, did you ever feel this satisfaction feeling while filming murder scenes or chopping all this meat?
No, I mean, yeah, it's like anything else in acting, you know. I mean, if Hannibal was doing something that was horrific and he found it horrific, then you can kind of picture that the real thing was happening. But because he finds it beautiful, I'll have to put something else in there that I can understand, something I find beautiful. And it can be anything beautiful, so I can use my imagination. But as I said before, it's not a character you carry home and that makes you depressed. It's a character that makes you really happy. I'm sorry to say so, but don't go there, guys. Don't go there.
And up next, beautiful dress.
Thank you. Hi, thanks for coming. I'm wondering if there's any particular attributes in a director that you find help facilitate your performance, or is the director irrelevant?
I gotta watch my answer here. Any director's questions? Right. No, I think that the script and the director are the most important things for the film. I need to have a director that is one big flame, enthusiastic and energetic about what we're doing, has a vision. I might not agree on the vision, it doesn't really matter, as long as it's the vision I can feel that belongs to him, it will become my vision. If I meet directors who are like, oh man, when is the cover break? It's not funny, right? You have to have somebody who is driven by this film. So it's absolutely not irrelevant. And that just saved me another job, didn't it?
Perfect, thank you so much.
Okay, go right ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm in the accent cloud, Russian one. A lot of people are going to ask you really good, nice question, but my question is, I want your hug. Is that possible?
Do you have a hug?
Yep.
Where is that rhyme for the hogs?
I'm in Russia, so I'm going to hear, I need your hug.
You need my hug.
Yeah. I'm ready to run to you.
Oh, that's great. But what if you're not the only one? Do you know what's going to happen with this group?
I'm just me, just one.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Man.
But I'm sure if you do the photo op, we'll be very close.
I will, but I need a hug.
I will. You know what?
I'm not going to move from that spot.
I'll give you a hug in there. How's that sound?
No, it's not coming.
We can do a hug in the photo ops. Thank you so much.
You can get what do you call it, air kiss. Get the hug later.
Go right ahead.